Okay there, singing world. This video will offer Italian pronunciation help for the aria Per la gloria d'adorarvi from the 24 Italian aria book. We will explore the tips and tricks to help you sing your aria without accent and also discuss proper open and closed vowels and other non-phonetic things such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. Before we do that, please direct your attention to the description of this video below. You'll find the entire text written out with all those non-phonetic things notated, such as open and closed vowels, the phrasal doublings, and the assimilation. Besides that, you'll see links to my various websites, my Facebook fan page. Please give me a visit if you have a chance. And also there's a link to the Rye dictionary, the Rye pronunciation dictionary, and at this site you can type in any word and it'll give you the pronunciation. You can get there by following the link below or typing into a search engine RAIDOP and the site should come up. So when you get there, you type in any word, you'll see a playback button and you can hear the word spoken by an Italian, native Italian. What I love about it, it also acknowledges the existence of non-phonetic Italian, such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. And if you're new to that, by the end of this video, you'll know what those things are. I strongly suggest you check out that site. It's a great site. I've been using it for years. So what we'll do is we'll read through the entire text first at kind of a slow clip so you can hear every vowel in action. Then we'll go through word by word and we'll try to figure out how to the most proper way to do every word so you have no accent, and also we'll go over a lot of the mistakes I hear in audition or in performance. Okay, so here we go. Here's the whole text. Per la gloria d'adorarvi, voglio amarvi o luccicare. Amando penerɔ, ma sempre vv'amerɔ. Sì nel mio penare, penerɔ, vv'amerɔ, luccicare. Senza spɛme di dilɛtto, vano affɛtto è ssospirare. Ma i vostri dolci rai chi vvagheggiar può mai, e non v'amare. Penerɔ, vv'amerɔ, luccicare. Okay, so let's go through word by word. So the first thing we come across is a closed E. So E's can either be open or closed. So what I mean by a closed E is A as in hey, and open E is A as in head. And the difference between English and Italian is that the English has a glide. So when we say a vowel like face, see that's a closed E, A, but we move our jaw, right? They would say face, right? So you have an Italian accent, right? Face. When you want to have an Italian accent, that's how you speak English, right? No jaw movement in between vowels. Your jaw moves, but it moves to vowel, right? So per, right? So closed E is A, and is also printed just the way it looks in Times New Roman, right? So that regular E is also the IPA symbol for the vowel A, closed A. So further down in the text, you'll see sempre, about fourth line down. That's an open E. So that's your symbol for the open E in IPA, is the rounded edges, kind of looking like a Greek E. Okay. Now the other vowel that's not phonetic is O, right? So O is either closed or open. So the open vowel is in the word gloria. You see it like the third word in, right? Gloria. It's like A-W, and again without the glide. And then plain old closed O is just written like normal Times New Roman, O, right? So those are the two IPA symbols. Now notice I'm only using IPA symbols in Italian when it's not phonetic. So you can see how much of Italian is phonetic, right? Most Italian is almost exactly the way you spell it. We only get into the problem when the things are not phonetic that we want to know. That's where we have a question, right? So I try to have a very simple, uncluttered format for you. You can do all the IPA you want, right? But this is all the IPA you need for Italian. It's just this little bit. Okay, so we're still on the first word because there's an R in the word, and R's are either rolled or they're not rolled. And so how do we know when to roll them and when not to? Well, any R that touches a consonant is rolled. Any R that's surrounded by vowels is flipped. So let's do the difference between rolled R and flipped R. So perla, right? Now I exaggerated that R. You're not going to roll it that much, but just to give you an idea, R is a rolled R. Now, right away in the first line we have gloria, flipped R. It's not, notice it's not gloria. It's not rolled. It's gloria. Ready? Ready? It's just one little tick of the R. So it's one of these. It's only one of those. Right? Gloria. And that's it. So that's the difference. Now that's done with the tip of the tongue touching the ridge behind your teeth. Right? Gloria. It's just that. It's the same thing as if I said a D, gloria, but ri instead. My tongue does that for D, ri. It hits like that. Okay. So those are your two R's. So the second word, a. So a, printed A, is always a in Italian. It's like the a in father, right? And father is the closest because we don't mess with a and father too much, right? But see, like for instance, if it's followed in English, if an a is followed by an r, it's highly compromised. It harmonizes, right? So far or car, we're really chew, right? So la, there you are. Gloria. So now we have, in this word, we have an open O, and then we have a semi-vowel, right? So the I is there, but it goes by so fast, it's only half a vowel, right? So gloria, right? So you have words in Italian that actually have the same combination of IA at the end of a word, but then they're pronounced as real vowels, like trattoria, right? Fattoria, which means farm, doesn't mean factory. Fattoria, right? So where the E is accent, so you have to memorize this. But this one is gloria, just a semi-vowel. Next, here we have both R's in one word. We have a flipped R and a rolled R. Take a look at it, right? Think about which one is flipped and which one isn't. I'll give you a second, right? So now, if you said that the first one is flipped, you are correct, because it is surrounded by vowels. And the second one is rolled because it touches the V. So, dadorarvi. It's in slow motion, right? Dadorarvi. Notice that the O is closed. So, if that were an English word, we'd say dador, right? We would R. We'd open the vowel. So, this is hard for us if we're English speakers to not open that vowel, right? Da, do, o, right? Dadorarvi. And you have to have the coordination not to roll the R and then to roll the R. Okay. Next, vɔglio. So G-L-I-O. Lio. So it's this. You have an L and then a Y-O. So if we go backwards, yo, yo, right? Y-O. Yo, right? And then L preceded with an L, lio, right? So now va, the first O is open, vɔglio, vɔglio, and now you have it. See, notice how much flesh is involved in that, right? In your face, vɔglio. So everything's buzzing. Amarvi. So what we tend to do is when we have two A's in a row, as English speakers, we neutralize the second one, or the first one, amarvi. So the one that's not accented goes to right? No, not in Italian. Always the same. Right? If you practice two A's, perfectly the same, and then amarvi, right? I grew up in a strongly Italian Italian language neighborhood in Providence, Rhode Island when I was a kid. And I remember the priest always saying, "You Americans, you don't open your mouth when you speak." And now I know what he means by that. But what he meant was we neutralized vowels, right? Ah. We would say amarvi and neutralize. Next, lluci. So I've written a double L. And the reason for this is the word O is an interjection. And it is what's called strong monosyllable. So most monosyllables will double the consonant in the next word. And this word, O, is no exception. So lluci. So the L doubles, right? So what exactly is a double L? What's a double L versus a single L? How does it sound? Well, I get the double L sound by phonating on the L and holding it in phonation, right? So lluci would be one L. Lluci, right? So if I that's double L. Now you don't want to exaggerate this, right? Lluci, see, just enough to make it spicy, right? Also notice that it's not lluci. That would be a double CI, right? Lluci. You don't want that. Lluci. So to get a double ch in a word is to stop phonation. Lluci. So mostly all doubles get in the way of phonation somehow. The L's, M's, and N's are differently because you kind of keep phonating, but they just take the place of a vowel phonating. And that is what makes them double, right? Lluci. So it takes the place of the vowel, right? Now, things that are unvoiced, like lluci, to make it a double ch, that would stop phonation. Now, of course, in this word, you do not want that. You want single ch, right? So lluci. The oo is as long as possible. Okay, going on. Care. The R is flipped because it's between two vowels, right? And the E at the end is a closed E. Care. Let's go on. Amando. So notice we have a single M. So N's, M's, and L's follow the same principle that R's do. They're single when they're surrounded by vowels. And when they touch a consonant, they double in a word, right? I bet nobody told you that before, right? But if you listen to Italian singers, you'll hear them doing this all the time. Amando. You see? So the M at the beginning is single, not Amando. So the mistakes I hear people making are, most Americans get the doubles. They might do them too much. They might do them too strongly. But they get the doubles. It's when there's not a double. A lot of times I hear Americans doing doubles, and that's actually more offensive than not doing a double, is doing a double where it doesn't belong. So I'll hear Amando, like where both are doubled, right? Only the second, the N that touches the D, is the one that's doubled. How do I get rid of a double M? That's what you're probably thinking, right? How do I get rid of a double M? Well, first of all, practice the vowels. Ah. Now imagine there's a second ah there without a glottal, right? You're not going to go ah, right? But imagine there's a second ah. Ah. That's the feeling of a single consonant. Amando, right? Now this is all exaggerated, right? But you see, that's how I made this single, right? As soon as the M gets in the way of the phonation for the vowel, then you have a double M. The vowel is gone. Amando. The M is not allowed to phonate. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So now, here you have all single consonants in this word. Penerɔ. Okay. So we have an accent on the last syllable. If you notice in your book, it has an accent, right? Right? So the accent there, in that case, shows you that the last syllable is stressed, which is not common in Italian, right? Usually the stress in Italian is on the second to last syllable, but you can stress the syllable before the second to last, like subito, called anti-penultimate stress. Normal stress, penultimate stress, second to last. like adorarvi, right? So the second to last, right? And then here we have ultimate stress, vv'amerɔ, right? Usually when the O falls on the final syllable, it opens. Okay, I can't think of an instance where there's an O on, where there's an accent on the final syllable, stress, and it's closed. So vv'amerɔ, okay, penerɔ, I'm sorry, I skipped the line, right? So penerɔ, right? So now the E's in this word are all closed. Okay, so we're gonna go over the rule of stress now. Open and closed E's and O's and stress. Anything that is on an unstressed syllable in Italian is closed. So any E that is on an unstressed syllable is A. Any O that is on an unstressed syllable is O. Now, that's the good news, because a lot of words, you don't even have to look them up. If the word is on, if the E or the O falls on the unstressed syllable, it's closed, right? Now, the bad news is that the stressed vowels are interchangeable. They're either open or closed, and there's no rhyme or reason. There are no rules. There are a few formulas, but even those have exceptions. So basically, you have to memorize all of the stressed, right? Now, lucky for you, there were places like the dictionary online, or I didn't have that. In the old days, you had to, there was only one dictionary that had everything. It was called Zingarelli, and you had to send away for it. It was very expensive. Now, for free, you can go on the net, look up any word, and there's a dictionary that will tell you. You just have to know verb forms. So in this word, if you notice, the stressed O is open, right? And so as we know, the stressed is either open or closed. So now that we know that O is open, those E's are closed because they're all in the unstressed. Penerɔ. Okay, going on. Ma is another strong monosyllable. So if you notice, I've doubled the S. Ma sempre. And you see? That's how you say it. Ma sempre. Notice that the M gets a little phonation because it touches a P. Notice that the R rolls because it is touching a consonant. Notice that the stress E is open, sempre, and the unstressed is closed. Now, all stressed, not all stressed vowels are open, right? We just had two in a row that were open. And now we have vv'amerɔ, that rhymes with penerɔ, right? So we know all of that. We know the single consonant rule. We know the closed E rule. We know the flipped R rule. Si is another strong monosyllable, and the word yes, and it will double, right? But now here, when you have two C's in a row, you're going to double the last word. So you're not going to say si ne, it's too much. Si nel mio penare. See? Si nel mio penare. So there's a double N. You'll see them, in the rise site, they'll read whole sections of Dante, and they'll put the phrasal doublings in where they belong. So nnel is closed. We already know how to do double N. It's the same as nnel. The N has to stay in phonation, right? Si nel mio penare. 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 So where's the accent? It's on the A. Penare. All of the E's are closed. Beautiful, right? Easy, right? The R is flipped, surrounded by vowels. Okay, so now notice what happens when you end with the strong O and then the next word follows with the consonant. There are doublings. Now, these doublings I did by space when I read it, right? Penerɔ, vv'amerɔ, lluci, right? Depending on where it falls in the music, it might not happen that way, but that's the way you execute a double. Notice that a double consonant is not the force of the consonant, but the space, right? Penerɔ, vv'amerɔ, lluci. Okay, we've had all these words. Okay, we've had we didn't have Sɛnza. So Z in Italian either is a DZ or a TZ. And in this case, it's a TZ. Now, how do we know? Well, if it had a D in Latin. So if you're a Latin scholar and you know that, otherwise you have to memorize it, right? I'm being funny, right? So Sɛnza, we know it's TZ. There are words like mezzo, you see, or lezzo. And it doesn't matter whether it's double Z or single Z. So double Z, you have to memorize whether it's DZ, azzurro for blue, right? DZ, right? And then on top of that, to complicate it, Italians on initial Z, they say wrong now. They've changed it. So they say DZ when it's supposed to be TZ. So like the word for aunt and uncle, zio, you'll hear in Italian. And it's almost everybody, right? Zio, zia, and it's zio. The proper one is TZ, right? So, you know, if it's however, right? If the conductor says zio, you do zio. Sɛnza is a TZ, open E, and a non-neutralized A. Spɛme, open E. Okay, we haven't had one stressed vowel that's closed. We're going to find one. There's going to be one, right? So spɛme, open E, closed E at the ends. Open E on the stressed, right? Dilɛtto. Okay, so now we have double T. We have single L, we have double T. We have an open E before the double T. So how do we do double T? Do we do two T's? Dilɛtto. No, right? And we don't do a T in our we don't do air in our T, right? So how do we do double T? Well, I'll tell you how I hear it wrong first, right? A lot of people will say you shorten the vowel before the double T. Well, here I'll shorten the vowel before the double T and tell me if this sounds right, right? Dilɛtto. That's what I hear singing, right? Short, right? So it's not that, right? The vowel is actually long before the double T, but there's a stop in phonation. So like this, dilɛtto. See, notice I can do the double T wherever I want. Stop in phonation. I go up to the T without saying it, and I don't say it. That makes the double T. That's the first T. The first T is in position, silent. Dilɛtto. There's your double T for singing, right? Dilɛtto. See? So long eh, go up to the T, don't say it. To. You can practice that with me, right? You can rewind the video and do that as many times as you want. If you do that, you'll always have the perfect T, double T for singing. Now, let's talk about the T itself. It's a dental, right? So all your consonants are in pairs. So T is the cousin of D, right? So the D, right? So if I say ta, da, what's the difference? Da has my vocal cords, so it's a voiced consonant, D. Da. Ta, unvoiced. Now, in English, I do ta, ta, especially in the UK, right? The more, it's very, very dental, right? Ta, with air. The Italian one is as far away from the British one as possible, right? The only thing it takes on the British one is the highness in the palate. The British speak more high. They have very good high in the palate. Americans, on the other hand, are down here. Hello, I'm Bob, right? So our T is down here. Not only does it have a T, but it's down here, right? I don't know why I'm talking like Wolf Blitzer all of a sudden, but so that's a problem. You want it to be high and you want it to be like D, right? I'm spending a lot of time on T, but I hear a lot of wrong T, right? So do, to, dilɛtto. It's up there, you see? So if I practice dilɛtto, do, where it's voiced, and then I just find that one spot where it becomes T and it's unvoiced, dilɛtto. Ah, beautiful for singing, because now my vocal cords are as close together as possible while making a real T. So what you don't want is dilɛtto, right, with the toe. Yes? Okay, going on. Vano. Ah, what's the mistake? I hear vano, right? Double N. That means they go. Vano is vain, right? vano, vano, ow. So that's how you practice your vowels. Vano, affɛtto. Very hard to get the F and the T double. Affɛtto. I did it slow motion. Notice that the A is long, not affɛtto. See, wrong. Affɛtto. The first one I did double consonants, but it's too short, right? Affɛtto. So there's always this long legato, right? Affɛtto. There's always a gesture in Italian that you need to get. Now, the next word is the word for is, and it's open. Now, in this case, it's very important that you open the vowel, so we know it's is, right? So it's a vain affect to sigh, is what you're saying, right? Vano affɛtto ssospirare is sighing, right? In this case, it says to sigh is the literal, but in English it would be better, right? Vain affectedness is sighing, is what you're saying. Ssospirare, right? Open E, not A, which means and. Ssospirare, ssospirare. Notice what syllable I'm careful to put everything on. If I had 4 notes, ssospirare. When I speak, it's different. Notice the difference between speech. Ssospirare, so if I had 4 notes, it would be ssospirare. That sounds sloppy if you sing it that way, right? If you sing ssospirare. Does that make sense? So make sure all of the S is on the second syllable. That's my S rule for clean singing. Now the next, mmai, vɔstri. So you have, again, Italian vowels do not harmonize. So it's a, e, mmai, not my, like my in English, right? My, right? Mmai. So it's all the way to a, all the way to e. Vɔstri. So when you sing all of this together, it's going to go all around in your mouth. Mmai, vɔstri. Does that make sense? Right? Lots and lots of vowel. Notice that the O in vɔstri is open. Dolci. Notice that the L, again, follows that rule of touching a consonant. So it's phonated, right? Dolci. Beautiful, right? Sweet, right? Dolci. Rai. Not rye, right? Not like bread. Not like the place in New York that's like in Westchester. Rai. Rai. Yes. Now here's ki, and the word ki is a strong monosyllable, right? Now, I hear a lot ki with air through it. So again, the Italian K sound is as close to gi, which would be the voice, right? So G is the voice of K, right? Ki, unvoiced, gi. Ki. See what I did? I'm very close to G. I just find that point where it becomes K, and that's ki for singing. Okay, so now ki is a strong monosyllable. Notice I've written a double V. Vvagheggiar. See, vvagheggiar. Now I don't overdo V, right? I don't get stuck. Vvagheggiar. It's just nice. It's like the pasta's al dente. Now no more, right? It's not crunchy. No. And here's another thing, right? I say this over and over again in my videos, but Italians get excited, the vowels get longer. Americans get excited, we go on consonants. So if we start to go for words, we go for consonants. So we'll be all like, right? You have no sound because you have no vowel. In Italian would be vvagheggiar, right? Like vowel, vowel, vowel. So you can practice e-r-a-r. Notice that the I is a semi-vowel again, right? Vvagheggiar. So practice slowly, and then you can go fast. Vvagheggiar. Okay, going on. Può, P-U-O. Again, we have an accented word, accented O. It's open. And now this word is a phrasal doubling word, right? Può mmai. You can also check out, I did a video on all the strong monosyllables, all the weak monosyllables. I'll leave the link in the description. You can check it out after this video if you're interested in that. There's a list that was done by Colorni, and I go through it in a video. So all of the strong monosyllables, all the weak monosyllables. It's easier to memorize the weak monosyllables because they're fewer than the strong monosyllables. Okay, so now A is the word for and. Remember, is, A is and. Both of them are strong monosyllables, so they double. So nnon v'amerɔ. So now we have the only assimilation of the aria. Notice I wrote a strange IPA syllable for the N before the V. So N does whatever the next consonant is going to do. And in this case, we have a fricative, a V. So what do we do when we make a V? What happens? We go va, va. So what is it? What is the V? It's the same as fa. Notice the F is the unvoiced, va is the voiced. So my bottom lip goes against my teeth, right? So in Italian, when speaking, not even knowing that he or she is doing this, would do non v'amerɔ. Watch my bottom lip as I say it. Non v'amerɔ. What happened? Non v'amerɔ. The N never went inside my mouth because I was speaking. It's too much effort, right? Non v'amerɔ. So that's called an assimilation, right? Now, what's funny is on the Rai site, they have none of this is ever notated, right? They do not. This is the one thing that if you go to the Rai site, you say, well, where are the N assimilations before V and F? They never notate it, but then the speaker will speak it, and it will have the assimilation. So I went crazy one day. I just went and tried to find every single word that had a V, an N before a V, an N before an F, and I listened to all of the playbacks, and there it was again, but they haven't written it yet. So I don't know if I should write to them and ask them to be clearer with that. But anyway, that does exist. It is written in Nico Costell book. He touched upon this. He was on to something. If you listen to old Italian singers, listen to recordings from the 30s and the 40s when they're all Italian casts, you'll hear this assimilation. You know, you have to listen very closely, and as you listen, your ears will open up to this more and more and more. Okay, so the N before the V, non v'amerɔ. Now, I can do this wrong, and I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but this is important because this is part of sounding like a native Italian, right? So, if you put the N in your mouth, right? And some Italians do this. They start to sing, they read, they see there's an N there. Now they're going to do something that's a little more cerebral, right? They start to get cognitive, and they start to read, they start to get visual, and they go against the natural thing. So they'll go, non v'amerɔ. Now what happens, right? The N is in my mouth, right? So say I wanted to sing, right? And I say, non v'amerɔ. What happens? I put the N in my mouth, and then I have to make the V. So what happens is my N touches my tongue touches the tip of my mouth. I have to release the tongue. Then there's a shadow vowel, right? Non v'amerɔ. Non. We can do it in English. We can do non v'amerɔ, but still, even then, it's not as legato as non v'amerɔ. So see what I mean? Sounds more Italian, right? Non v'amerɔ. Now, there's another mistake. The last mistake is to do it right, but phonate too long on the bottom lip. And then it calls attention to itself, and it's not beautiful, right? It becomes vulgar. So if you're doing it basically right, but you go, non v'amerɔ, you see now you've stayed too long. And you're also going to get called out by your coach. Your coach or your conductor might not know what's wrong, but they'll know there's something wrong, and they have very good ears, and they might not be able to tell you at that moment what you did wrong. Let's say, oh, it's not legato enough, or it just sounds wrong, or who told you to do that, right? So you want it to be a non v'amerɔ, as non-noticeable as possible and very legato. Okay, so enough on that. And then all the words are exactly the same, right? Penerɔ, vv'amerɔ, lluci. So let's go through the entire text again before we finish, and so we get the flow and the nice legato. Okay, so here we go. Per la gloria da adorarvi, voglio amarvi o luccicare. Amando penerɔ, ma sempre vv'amerɔ. Sì nel mio penare, penerɔ, vv'amerɔ, luccicare. Senza spɛme di dilɛtto, vano, affɛtto e ssospirare. Ma i vostri dolci rai, chi vvagheggiar può mai, e non v'amare, penerɔ, vv'amerɔ, luccicare. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, and we will see you at the opera.